Welcome to Module 9, Microscopy and Basic Staining Techniques. In this module, we will build the practical knowledge needed to observe microbial cells clearly, safely, and with confidence. Microscopy turns structures that are invisible to the naked eye into usable laboratory evidence. When the sample, optics, and observation method are controlled, the image can support a sound microbiological decision. Reliable microscopic observations begin with careful slide preparation. Smear quality directly affects staining performance, focus, contrast, and the confidence of the final interpretation. Staining makes microbial differences easier to see by improving contrast and revealing patterns of color, shape, and arrangement. These observations are meaningful only when preparation and interpretation are performed with discipline. By the end of this module, you should be able to handle a microscope safely, prepare a readable smear, and understand the purpose of basic stains. You should also be able to describe cell morphology clearly without making unsupported identification claims. Microscopy provides rapid visual clues that can support culture work, contamination investigations, and analyst training. It does not replace culture or confirmed identification, but it gives important context before more detailed testing is completed. A compound light microscope includes eyepieces, objective lenses, a stage, a condenser or diaphragm, focus controls, and a light source. Knowing the function of each component helps the analyst use the instrument correctly and avoid unnecessary damage. Light microscopy works by transmitting light through a thin specimen and focusing that light through a system of lenses. Image quality depends on specimen thickness, illumination, objective selection, and the quality of the prepared slide. Magnification makes an image appear larger, but it does not automatically make the image clearer. Resolution separates close details, while contrast helps the specimen stand out from the background. Handle the microscope carefully by carrying it with 2 hands and placing it on a stable bench. Begin with a lower power objective, adjust the illumination, and use fine focus carefully as magnification increases. A clear image starts before the slide is placed on the microscope stage. The specimen should be applied to a clean slide, spread thinly, fixed when required, stained correctly, and then observed systematically. A good smear is thin, evenly distributed, firmly attached to the slide, and free from excessive debris. Smears that are too thick, too thin, overheated, or prepared on a dirty slide can create misleading observations. Fixation helps the specimen remain attached during staining and rinsing, while preserving enough morphology for interpretation. Insufficient fixation can allow the smear to wash away, whereas excessive heat or harsh treatment can distort the cells. A simple stain uses one main dye to increase contrast and reveal basic cell shape and arrangement. It is useful for early training, but it does not distinguish gram-positive from gram-negative organisms or confirm species identity. Gram staining is a differential staining method that separates bacteria into broad groups based on how their cell walls behave during the staining process. It provides useful preliminary information, but it must be interpreted alongside other approved methods. Gram-positive cells commonly appear purple or violet because they retain the primary stain complex more strongly. Gram-negative cells commonly appear pink or red after decolorization and counterstaining, while variable results may reflect technique, culture age, or mixed populations. The gram staining workflow includes smear preparation, fixation, primary staining, mordant application, careful decolorization, counterstaining, and final observation. Decolorization is especially technique-sensitive because too much or too little can produce a false reaction. Interpret a gram stain by considering color, cell shape, arrangement, and the quality of the slide. A clear report describes what is seen, such as gram-positive cocci in clusters or gram-negative rods, without over-identifying the organism. Basic bacterial morphology includes cocci, which are round cells, bacilli, which are rod-shaped cells, curved rods, and spiral forms. Morphology is useful descriptive information, but it can change with culture age, staining quality, cell damage, or sample type. Cell arrangement reflects how cells divide and remain attached after division. Reporting whether cells occur as singles, pairs, chains, clusters, or irregular groupings makes the observation more useful and more traceable. Yeasts are eukaryotic cells and are often larger than bacteria under routine microscopy. They may appear as oval or round cells, sometimes with visible budding, and microscopy can help distinguish yeast-like growth from bacterial colonies. Molds are filamentous fungi that may show hyphae, spores, and other reproductive structures. Their microscopic appearance can be affected by preparation quality, so fragile structures should be handled and interpreted carefully. Wet mounts and unstained preparations can be useful when observing larger cells, general sample structure, or selected movement patterns in appropriate teaching materials. However, their low contrast and short observation time limit their value for small bacteria and long examinations. Staining controls help confirm that the stain system, technique, and interpretation are performing as expected. When controls fail, unknown samples should not be overinterpreted until stain quality, smear thickness, fixation, timing, rinsing, and microscope condition have been reviewed. Artifacts can resemble cells or distort true morphology, so analysts should question unexpected visual patterns. Thick smears, poor decolorization, dirty slides, stained precipitates, overheating, and stressed cultures are common sources of misleading results. A microscopy result becomes valuable only when it is documented clearly, honestly, and traceably. Record the sample identity, staining method, magnification, observed color, shape, arrangement, slide quality concerns, and any uncertainty. Safety during staining and microscopy includes careful control of glass slides, stains, heat or fixation steps, and biological material. Use the required protective equipment, manage waste correctly, and clean the work area after the activity. In pharmaceutical microbiology, microscopy supports the preliminary review of unexpected colonies, environmental monitoring isolates, and contamination investigations. It remains a support tool and should be connected to approved methods, controlled documentation, and formal investigation procedures. In food and cosmetic microbiology, microscopy helps connect visible morphology with spoilage, hygiene, and product quality concerns. It can support the review of bacteria, yeasts, and molds from food samples, water-containing products, and environmental sources. In this case scenario, 2 colony types are present, and the gram stain shows purple cocci in clusters together with pink rods. The correct response is to report the observed morphology. Note that the smear is slightly thick and request appropriate follow-up rather than immediately naming a specific organism. This activity develops structured observation skills using prepared teaching slides or example images. Describe the gram reaction, shape, arrangement, slide quality, and possible artifacts before writing a concise descriptive conclusion. A repeatable checklist improves consistency before, during, and after microscopy. Confirm that the slide is clean and labeled, the smear and controls are acceptable, multiple fields are reviewed, observations are recorded, and unclear findings are escalated. Microscopy is most powerful when good technique, effective staining, and careful interpretation work together. Remember that smear quality controls image quality, and that clear documentation protects both data integrity and training quality.